Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to Vickie's Country Home. And welcome back to Super Sides Saturday. And this is the third one, so it's the last of this collaboration. And this is a collaboration between myself, Lori at Whipporwill Holler, Jeri at My Blind Mama's Messy Kitchen, and Katie at Heritage Ways. And I just hope you'll join us, and I hope you'll go to their channels and check them out too. They're beautiful ladies. I love them. So today I was going to make something else, then I changed my mind. So this is kind of a last minute. One of my favorite side dishes to make all the time, and it's just so easy to put together, and I can do it while I've got other things going, is to make roasted potatoes and other vegetables. So today I'm going to take gold potatoes and my last butternut squash, and I'm going to roast them with some rosemary and garlic. And it's our favorite way to have a side dish. And I have to laugh because I had this all put together, got everything out, and then I was watching a video of Mrs. Lori from Whipporwill Holler, and she had something so similar. It's funny because I'm going to have pork chops in the oven, but mine are going to be with my golden mushroom soup that I love with some seasonings in it. And she had a pork loin, but she had roasted potatoes too. So it's funny. So go check her out. She's a hoot. I love watching her videos. And all I gotta say is Mrs. Lori, great minds think alike. So let's get started. Now this couldn't be simpler. All I'm going to do is I am going to cut this butternut squash into chunks. So I'm gonna just take the ends off. Be careful and use a good knife no matter what you do. So now I'm just going to take a vegetable peeler and peel it. Those scraps will be a treat for my chickens. Okay, now I'm going to cut this in half just to make it easier. And then I'll cut each of these in half. And that's going to let me get the seeds out easily. But the great thing about this dish is you can use all kinds of vegetables. I like the root vegetables, but you can even do asparagus. You could do green beans, whatever you want, but this is our favorite, is the potato. And we also love this butternut squash roasted. You could do it with acorn squash, any of the winter squashes. And I'm going to save these seeds, and I'll be planting them, so let them dry out well. Hopefully these are still good. This has been around a while, so it may not be. But you can always test them, so I hate to waste something like that. All right, let me get this cleaned up, and I'll bring you back. All right, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to cut it first in slices. And then I'm just going to make cubes. And I don't know, these are probably 3/4 of an inch up to an inch. And I cheat. You could do this in a bowl, but it's so easy to just throw them in a zip top bag. And I'm going to cut some of this. I'm just going to give those to the chickens. So it's just kind of spongy. It's not quite the seeds, but it's kind of close. So I'm just going to cut that center out. All this spongy stuff, that's going to my chickens. They're going to love that this time of year. Alright, let me get the rest of this cut up, and then I'll bring you back to show you what I do next. Alright, I have all of that butternut squash cut up, and it's beautiful. So now, I am going to just pour a little bit of olive oil. It doesn't take a whole lot. Seal the bag. And then I'm just going to squish it around. That's technical, squish. You don't need a lot of olive oil on it, but you want to get a little bit. It's going to help it roast beautifully, and it's going to help the seasoning stay on it well. And then I just have a baking sheet that I've lined with parchment paper, which makes it really easy cleanup. And this is going to be a lot for Brian and I, but it makes great leftovers too. Just kind of spread it out. And now I'm going to get the potatoes started. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. In fact, I'm going to use that same bag because it doesn't matter. Just cut off any spots that don't look good. And these are all different sizes, so just try and cut the pieces as equally as you can. And I don't think I need that last potato. I think this is going to be plenty for Brian and I. And leftovers. But many times I'll just do the potatoes if that's all I have handy. them in my bag, and again, just a little bit of olive oil. And again, you can do this in a bag, in a bowl, and stir them up. But this is so easy, and yeah, I'm using a plastic bag, but you know what? That's the way I do it. Okay, let me get another baking sheet for this, and I'll bring you right back. Now you can trim the parchment paper to fit the pan. I don't, because this makes really easy cleanup. And because we're off-grid, we try not to use a lot of power at night, which includes running water, which is the well pump. By having this parchment paper come up the sides, there is almost no cleanup to this, which is wonderful. Okay. So we just have a tiny bit of olive oil on everything. And then I have this, which is Tastefully Simple garlic, which is yummy. And yes, it has salt, so some people might not be able to use it. But I just put a healthy dose on there. And then I have crushed rosemary. And the rosemary just makes it incredible. And I am very liberal with that. And we're going to do the exact same thing to this butternut squash. And it sounds kind of weird, but you know what? It works. And you can use any kind of seasoning if you like it. This is just what we like. But when I discovered roasting vegetables, oh my gosh, I was in love. Because first of all, it's so easy. You put it in the oven, and then you can go on with other things. So you don't have to stand there and do a lot. This is it. So now, I'm going to put both of these in the oven with my pork chops, and I have it at 350 degrees. I'm going to leave it at that for probably a half hour, and then I'm going to turn on the convection. If you don't have convection, that's okay. This still works. It just takes a little bit longer. I would give it at least 15 minutes. And you're just looking for these to be tender to a fork. So I'm going to put them in the oven, and then I'll bring you back when they're all done. All right, these are all finished, and they're nice and tender, and look at that. That's the butternut squash. And here's the roasted potatoes, and I like them nice and crispy. So these turned out beautiful. See that? So let's give it a taste. We'll try the squash first. That is so good, and you wouldn't think of those seasonings, but they work. And the potatoes. These are my favorite. I love the gold potatoes, and I love to roast them like this with the garlic and the rosemary. There's just so much flavor in them, and they're perfect for all kinds of meats. So I hope you give this a try, and if you want to join in the collaboration, make your video, put Superside Saturday in the title. Leave us a link down below in the comments, and we will add you to our playlist. So thank you for watching, and thanks for joining us at Vickie's Country Home. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or share it, or all of them. And we'll talk again soon.